Dude, looksmaxxing has to be a psyop. It just has to be. It's just so uh parasitic and invasive, and it bleeds into all aspects of your life because of how important appearance is generally for people, right? And this isn't something that we choose to be. It's not like we, as a culture, like, we foster an interest in appearance. No, there is actually an innate need to look a certain way because it like it signals that you're a healthy mate and whatnot. The halo effect. If you look good, then people are more likely to assume that you're a good person. So you see, there's like this is why it's nefarious. There's like subconscious biases that people have that get amplified when people maximize appearance. When someone is looking like drop dead gorgeous, when someone is looking like an angel, I can't sit here and deny that that's not going to get you into more rooms. I can't sit here and pretend that that's not more important. That's the thing. That's I think is really destructive about looksmaxxing, is that at its core, they're kind of right. And I'm not trying to be blackpilled or anything. I don't really believe in the blackpill and whatnot, but they do have a point. Okay, they do have a point. But I think this trend in many ways has strayed so far away that I think we're finally okay. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe when the bros start injecting Botox, I think that's when we're like reaching that point. That's when we're at the point of it being clearly more a more negative than a positive, if that makes sense. Okay, I wanted to rant a bit about the looksmaxxing, but you know what? I decided I'm gonna have a couple bullet points. Okay, first thing, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm starting to feel bad on days when I don't look good. Is that just me? I feel like this looksmaxxing thing has spread so much, and you see it even in real life. I'm not talking even about social media or popular culture or advertisements or movies, though it's like spread in all of those as well. Can we talk about that, by the way? Why are all actors like has to be celebrities and beautiful people? Same as singers. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like really great singers and really great actors out there that are not like Brad Pitt or something. And I don't know, man. It's just we got to talk about that. I've been watching some the classic movies recently, and I realized like how many actors that I've never seen before, and that's so refreshing. It makes it so much easier to suspend belief and really immerse yourself in a movie when I'm not seeing fucking Brad Pitt or the other guy that's Spider-Man in every movie. Anyway, that's a side tangent. But what I was saying is, on days when I don't look great, I have a nagging voice. It's these looksmaxers. They're in my head. They're in my ear, whispering to me like the Green Goblin, telling me that I don't look good enough, that I look too tired, or I don't know, man. I'm doing society a favor by not letting people look at me. And this is so crazy. This is insane to think that it reached that point where I'm not like particularly into looksmaxxing. Like, of course, like I'll improve my appearance where I can. I'll spend some time on it. Dude, I got a skincare routine and stuff. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I think it's good to do a good amount of maintenance for your looks. Let's say maintenance. But I think you can take it too far. And I don't think I've taken it too far yet. I'm not all about like trying to fix my hair and add like a bunch of spray just to make sure that it's like photo perfect, photo finish. And I'm dressing in like my Sunday best every time that I'm going outside. No, I'll go out in like a hoodie and sweatpants or whatever. And I'll look sometimes like a goblin, and I don't really care that much. But on those days when I don't care too much, I feel this nagging feeling like I'm not enough, like I'm not good enough, and that's so. It shows how far this trend has spread. But I want to say something about this looksmaxxing thing. Your looks will get you into some rooms. That part nobody can deny. If someone is denying that, they're coping. Looks definitely do matter, but they're not gonna keep you in that room. That's just the reality. I've personally met, by the way, looksmaxers are like walking outside now. It's no longer like an online thing. It hasn't been an online thing for a long time now. They've already been out. They've been out. They're out on the streets. They're out in the clubs. These looksmaxers that look so perfect. Like it's so strange. If anybody has seen them like walking down the street, you can profile them. They're legit like so obvious because they're always looking so photo perfect. The hair is like every strand, and sometimes there's this one time. I mean, no offense to all of these looksmaxxers guys. Like at the end of the day, we're all people, and everybody like falls into some kind of trap. So this is not throwing shade at people. It's just commenting on observation. I'm just seeing, and I'm thinking about what I'm seeing. But there was this one time when I was on the bus, and I saw this guy that was sitting with two girls, and I could see that this guy's like every not couple of seconds, but like every minute or so, he would take out his phone, and then he would just be looking at his reflection and trying to like fix every hair strand to look perfect. And that's just so crazy to me to think that this guy is probably not like present in the moment. And if you're not present in the moment around these girls, then you can't really be yourself. And if you can't be yourself, you won't show the magic that your authenticity has. Because everybody's got that like magical spark in them that only shines when they're truly being themselves. They're the real effortless swag that you're looking for exists in the parts of you that you're afraid to show. That's just the reality of it. This is what I've learned. I've learned that when you're truly yourself, you will be effortlessly funny and you will be effortlessly magnetic. But you can't do that if in your mind all you're thinking about is like how you're being perceived physically. And now it's like a net negative, because yes, his appearance is probably good, like girls do like a guy that looks good. But when they're sitting with you and they see that you're like uncomfortable in your skin and you're really trying so hard to care about how they perceive you, that it can be felt in the room, dude. Humans are people. Humans, dude, that sounds so fucking stupid whenever somebody says like, yeah, humans, or like people in general, like, I'm people, I'm human. But people can feel a vibe, can feel when you're uncomfortable, right? It's in the air. They can smell it. They're like sharks. And when they smell that you're uncomfortable, you might as well have not looksmaxxed, okay? I think the guy that just looks like average, but he's genuinely in his element, he's in his charisma, that's the guy that, that's the guy that's gonna score. That's the guy that the girls are gonna like. They're gonna think just there's something about him that like they can't really describe it, and maybe he doesn't look that perfect, but at least he's really fun to be around. And I think that's really understated these days. People are so nonchalant these days that I think people really forgot the concept of like being pleasant to be around. Everybody's like on some nonchalant shit. Nobody wants to emote with their face. Nobody wants to show that they have a stupid interest or do embarrassing stuff. Nobody wants to like really be a fool, if that makes sense. Everybody wants to be like a cool, nonchalant, completely like stoic type of guy, which is of course that's bad in its own right. But let's not get into that. But what another thing that I wanted to say about this looksmaxxing thing is that think about like an RPG, right? This is the most like basement dweller analogy, but just listen to me. Think about like an RPG, right? You know how you have these stats where you can put like a couple points, some in strength, some in agility, some in like intelligence, whatever. The looksmaxxers, they're putting all of their points, all of them, into attractiveness. And that means that you are a glass cannon. You are fragile, my boy. You are fragile. Any kind of like shaking the boat and you're falling right off. And people need to understand that. I mean, I've personally like talked to some people that they look really good. They're pretty attractive. But I don't know, man. I don't want to sound really mean. Or make someone feel like, this you're the one that I'm talking about. But they have nothing to say. They're really not interesting to be around, and they're not pleasant to be around. And I could just think like, dude, like, yeah, I like, yes, you look good. I'm sure people like looking at you, but is there nothing more to it than just appearance? And the thing is, appearance is like is finite. You're not going to be looking good for the rest of your life, unless you're Brad Pitt or something, or like you've won the genetic lottery. But more often than not, you're going to want to have a little spice. You don't want to just be looking perfect and there's nothing else going to you, like empty mind, empty heart, and just looks. That just makes you so lacking in other aspects of your life. So I just wanted to bring attention to that. If you're someone that cares a lot about their appearance, first, you're right. Appearance does matter. People that say it doesn't, they're coping. We know this now. This is a fact. We've been new. But what you got to do is you got to have some kind of balance. Okay? You got to put some points in other skill trees so that when life comes at you, you have more to resist it than just your face. Because as I said, your face or your attraction might get you in some places, but your charisma, intelligence, experience, that's what's going to keep you there. And the last point that I wanted to mention is there's a male loneliness epidemic going on, right? It's like a pandemic. It's not an epidemic. It's a pandemic. It's everywhere. And for a lot of these guys, they dream about being in a relationship. But what you don't understand is that to be in a relationship with a girl, girls need a good personality. And a good personality requires that you don't have an unhealthy obsession with something, because obsessions naturally take away from other aspects, from your mental capacity to care about other stuff. So for these people that are so obsessed with genetics and looksmaxxing and, black pill mentality, that's an obsession. And girls don't like guys that are obsessed like that, unless you're obsessed with like a higher goal. But when it comes to like maximizing vanity, you may get some girls that will want you for your appearance temporarily, but I don't think they're gonna want to keep you, bro. I think more often than not, girls actually like a good personality. They like a guy that can make them laugh. So at the end of the day, if this looksmaxxing trend is to get the huzz, to get the girls, then what does that say? What does that say about who are we doing this for? If the girls themselves don't really care about this, and I know that like a lot of guys will say like, oh, that's just what the girls say, and don't look at what they say, look at what they do. There is some truth to that. I'm telling you, there is some truth to that. Your face is gonna get you in some rooms, but it's not gonna keep you there. And loneliness is not solved by temporary interaction with someone, and even worse so, like a temporary sexual interaction. I will never ever like be for this hookup stuff, right? If you've done it, that's fine. I'm just saying that it's just destructive. It's eroding to the soul, in my opinion. But you know what? I'm just one monkey on a floating rock. I don't own the world, and my ideals are not perfect. So if you believe otherwise, that's just what you want, bro. But my point is that if your goal is to get with a girlfriend, if your goal is to get a long-term relationship, you should care about your looks to a certain extent. Don't go the other extreme. You really should be like having a good sleep schedule, having a good skincare routine, dressing with some kind of like style that's like up to the modern standard. These things are important. Girls really do care about a guy that knows what's up, knows what the trends are, because girls are really like trend focused. They go with the flow of society, for better or for worse. So you got to be on top of your game. You got to show that you're like tapped in to what's going on in the world. You're informed. You're aware. This is important. But to maximize your looks, to like be sitting there mashing your cheekbones, I think that's crazy. But if you're one of those looks maxers and you happen to stumble across this video, I just want to tell you, bro, that you are deserving of love. I'm not saying this to be corny. You are deserving of love. At the end of the day, we're all here and we're all each other's got in this vast and cold universe. The only thing we got is each other. We're the only other conscious beings that we can observe. So, dude, I got you and you got me. So whatever problems that you might be having or whatever belief that you might have, we can always talk about it and we can always be there for each other. We need like more healthy conversation and less rhetoric and gotcha moments and whatever social media is going on right now. But yeah, I think this is enough for now. Have a great day.